You might be confused about how schemes like ULPIN, DIL-RMP, and DDU-GKY fit into UPSC questions on governance and rural development and why they matter. By the end of this video, you will be completely clear about what each scheme does, how they link together, and what exam angles to watch for. I will keep things simple and visual, focusing on the basics you must remember first. First, let us ask a quick question. What happens when land records are messy and scattered across offices? That confusion creates disputes, blocks credit, and invites corruption. And that is exactly what ULPIN and DILRMP aim to fix. And towards the end, we will understand a key idea that most UPSC aspirants miss about why land data is also institutional reform. Start with ULPIN. The unique land parcel identification number is like an Aadhaar for a plot of land. ULPIN is a 14-digit or alphanumeric unique ID that links ownership, area, and geo-coordinates in one record. Think of it as giving every plot a digital fingerprint tied to latitude and longitude, so there is no ambiguity. The system uses geo-referenced cadastral maps and surveys with technical inputs from the National Informatics Center. The central idea is interoperability. ULPIN can connect revenue records, registration systems, banks, and optionally Aadhaar for verification. Practically, this reduces fraud, clarifies ownership, and speeds up transactions, especially in rural areas with overlapping claims. Remember the rollout. The scheme began in 2021 across a set of states with plans to expand nationwide. Now place ULPIN within the older Digital India Land Records Modernization Program or DIL-RMP. DILRMP began in 2008 by merging two earlier projects to computerize land records and strengthen revenue administration. The district is the primary unit for implementation, with state governments executing plans supported by the center. The aims are straightforward. Update records, integrate textual record of rights with spatial cadastral maps, and enable automated mutation. A big policy goal is to move from deeds-based presumptive title to conclusive titling that reduces litigation and uncertainty. DIL-RMP's components are easy to visualize. Computerization, survey and resurvey for georeferencing, and linking registration to revenue records. The benefits follow. Citizens get real-time access to records, fewer office visits, less rent seeking, and better access to formal credit. Imagine a farmer getting a verified land document online and then using it to get a bank loan without long queues. That operational clarity is what policymakers mean by improved land accounting and creating land banks for development use. Next, switch to DDU-GKY, Deendayal Upadhyay Gramin Kaushalya Yojana, a rural skill development program launched in 2014. DDU-GKY targets rural poor youth aged 15 to 35 with age relaxations for women, SC, ST, and persons with disabilities. Its model is demand-driven and placement-linked, funding quality training that leads to jobs and career progression. Training covers technical trades plus soft skills, basic digital literacy, and spoken English, and often includes placement support and follow-up. For many rural youths, this is the bridge from informal work to formal wages and better livelihood stability. The scheme runs through a three-tier model: a national unit at the ministry, state missions, and project implementing agencies on the ground. PIAs are selected based on legal registration, financial health, and delivery capacity. And funding preferences reward captive employment and industry internships. DDU-GKY complements other initiatives like ASEEM, PMKVY, and the National Skill Development Mission to build a larger skilling ecosystem. Why should UPSC aspirants care about these three together? Because land records, digital governance, and skill programs are linked instruments of rural transformation and governance reform. For exam answers, highlight implementation mechanics, institutional roles, and measurable outcomes such as reduced disputes, better credit access or placements under DDU GKY. Also be ready to discuss challenges, data quality in cadastral maps, privacy and Aadhaar linkage, funding gaps, manpower for surveys, and placement retention. A useful analytic angle is to evaluate outcomes versus objectives. For instance, has Alpin reduced litigation? And has DDU GKY improved sustained employment? This type of evaluation makes for strong mains answers and interview talking points. A common UPSC trap is treating these as isolated schemes. Instead, stress integration, institutional incentives, and citizen-centric service delivery. To recap simply, Ulpin gives every parcel a unique geolinked ID. DILRIMP digitizes and harmonizes land records, and DDU GKY builds rural skills and placements. Together, they reduce uncertainty over land, improve access to credit and markets, and build human capital in rural India. For your revision, remember three keywords: identification, integration, and inclusion. When you write answers, use a short definition, give one practical example, then evaluate benefits and challenges, and end with a policy suggestion. For instance, suggest pilot performance metrics, stronger grievance redressal, or linking Ulpin to low-cost credit pilots to show practical thinking. Keep a few statistics handy for DDU GKY coverage and placements to add authority to your answers. Most importantly, practice one or two case studies where land digitization enabled a bank loan or an enterprise created jobs after skilling. You are building not just memory, but an ability to connect technical details to policy outcomes. And that is what examiners reward. Thanks for listening. Keep these ideas crisp. Alpin fixes identity. DILRMP digitizes systems. DDU GKY builds skills. If you want structured notes, practice questions, or a quick quiz on these schemes, continue with EduRev for focused lessons and mock answers. Stay curious, revise regularly, and use real-world examples to make your answers stand out. And see you in the next lesson.